Hello again. I'm Dr. Brianna and welcome to the marvelous spinal cord, a journey through our body's information superhighway. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating structures in our body, the spinal cord. Imagine it as the body's own information superhighway, constantly buzzing with messages between our brain and the rest of our body. It's like a biological version of the internet, but instead of cat videos and memes, it's transmitting crucial information about movement, sensation, and even our internal organ functions. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a wild ride through the twists and turns of our very own spinal cord. Section 1. The basics of the spinal cord. The spinal cord and vertebral column. Let's start with the basics. Your spinal cord is like a long, delicate rope of nervous tissue that runs from your brain down your back. But nature, in its infinite wisdom, didn't just leave this vital structure hanging out in the open. Oh no, it's protected by a bony fortress called the vertebral column. Think of the vertebral column as a suit of armor made up of 33 individual pieces called vertebrae. These vertebrae are stacked on top of each other like a tower of donuts, each with a hole in the middle. This hole is called the vertebral foramen, and it's through this opening that our spinal cord passes. It's like a fancy VIP tunnel for your nervous system, spinal meninges. Now, if you thought the vertebral column was enough protection, think again. The spinal cord has its own personal bodyguards called meninges. These are 3 layers of tissue that wrap around the spinal cord like a burrito. From the outside in, we have the tough dura mater, the web-like arachnid mater, and the delicate pia mater. Between the arachnid and pia mater is a space filled with cerebrospinal fluid, which acts like a cushion and helps deliver nutrients. Segment organization. Our spinal cord isn't just one long, uniform structure. It's divided into 30 segments, each corresponding to a pair of spinal nerves. These nerves exit the spinal cord through small openings between the vertebrae called intervertebral foramina. It's like each segment has its own exit on this biological highway. At the lower end of the spinal cord, you'll find a structure called the cauda equina. This Latin term means horse's tail, and that's exactly what it looks like, a bundle of spinal nerve roots that extend from the end of the spinal cord. These nerves are responsible for motor and sensory functions in our lower body and pelvic organs. So next time someone tells you to get your tail in gear, you can tell them you're working on activating your cauda equina. Spinal cord grey matter. If we were to slice the spinal cord like a salami, which we won't, because that would be messy and unethical, we'd see that it has 2 distinct types of tissue, grey matter and white matter. The grey matter is in the center and looks a bit like a butterfly or the letter H. It's divided into 3 main areas. Ventral horns. These contain the cell bodies of motor neurons that control our skeletal muscles. Think of them as the move it headquarters. Lateral horns. These house the cell bodies of autonomic neurons that control our internal organs. It's like the control room for your body's autopilot. Dorsal horns. This is where sensory nerve fibers come in to deliver messages about what's happening in and around your body. It's essentially your body's inbox for sensory mail. Spinal cord white matter. Surrounding the grey matter is the white matter. This area is full of bundles of nerve fibers called tracts. These tracts are like the lanes on our information superhighway. Ascending tracts, these carry sensory information up to the brain. They're like the northbound lanes, always heading up. Descending tracts. These bring motor commands down from the brain. Think of them as the southbound lanes, always heading down. And there you have it, folks. That's the basic structure of our amazing spinal cord. Remember, it's not just a cord, it's a complex, well-protected, highly organized structure that keeps us moving, feeling, and functioning every day. Let's summarize. In this section, we've explored the fundamental structure and organization of the spinal cord. We've learned about its protective housing, the vertebral column, its personal bodyguards, the meninges, and its internal organization into segments. We've also delved into the gray matter, with its butterfly-shaped cross-section housing important neuron cell bodies, and the surrounding white matter with its information superhighways. This intricate structure allows the spinal cord to efficiently relay messages between the brain and the rest of the body, controlling our movements, sensations, and even our internal organ functions. Here are a few review questions to test your knowledge on Section 1. What structure surrounds and protects the spinal cord? The answer is the vertebral column. How many total vertebrae are there in the human spine? The answer is 33. List the spinal meninges from superficial to deep. The answer is dura mater, arachnoid mater, and pia mater. Where is cerebrospinal fluid found? The answer is in the subarachnoid space. How many spinal cord segments and pairs of spinal nerves are there? The answer is 30 spinal cord segments and 30 pairs of spinal nerves. What is the cauda equina? The answer is a bundle of lumbar and sacral nerves and nerve roots that extends from the end of the spinal cord. What do ventral horns of the spinal cord gray matter contain? The answer is cell bodies of motor neurons that innervate skeletal muscles. What do lateral horns of the spinal cord gray matter contain? The answer is cell bodies of autonomic neurons that serve visceral organs. What do ascending tracts in the white matter transmit? The answer is sensory impulses up to the brain. What do descending tracts in the white matter transmit? The answer is motor impulses down from the brain. Alright everyone, it's time for our dance break. Let's get up and do the spinal shimmy. This dance not only gets your blood flowing but also helps reinforce the structures we've just learned about. Plus, it's a great way to remember that your spinal cord is always busy, constantly shimmying those messages up and down your body.
4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was the energizing spinal shimmy, which concludes section 1 of the spinal cord. For section 2, I'll be handing over the mic to the brilliant Dr. Tessa Thalamus, who will guide us through the intricate pathways of our spinal cord's information superhighways. I will be joining you at the end of section 3 with a recap of all the spinal cord related material. Until then, I'm Dr. Brianna Brainiac. See you soon.